4064 powder, and it's a little lighter charge than what we was doing before. This is the first shots I've ever taken through this rifle, so let's see how she does. Okay. 175 grain, 4064. Let's see what she does. Go ahead and shade me a little better there, Mr. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. Look at that. That's a buddy.
Better?
Yes, sir. Last Minute Man, coming to you from the studio. I'm here with my good buddy, Mr. Obvious. And Mr. Obvious, what are we doing today?
Oh, we're going to shoot some groups with this little rifle right here and see how it does.
Yeah, and this is a Bergara HMR, correct? And this is in caliber 308.
Yep.
And we did our review, talking about what our likes, dislikes, things like that about this rifle. If you want to see that, go back and watch that video.
Yep.
Today we're getting groups. We're going to use some factory loads, and we'll tell you each one that we're shooting. And then we're going to do hand loads as well. Tell us the equipment we're working with here, Mr. Obvious. What's our scope?
Scope is a Viper PST. It's a 5 by 25 by 50 millimeter.
And this is
got
nice
big turrets on it. So
yeah, very nice scope. I love that
nice
scope.
So.
And then what's our bipod up here?
Man, that's a Magpul.
Okay.
A bipod on it. Yeah, so we got it set up, ready to go.
And so we got all the factory mags and all that with it, and he's got the sticker on the bottom here that said sub MOA guaranteed. Yeah. And we're going to find out.
Yeah,
so
we're going to find out.
We're going to compare it with the Sierra that I have and see what the differences are. If, the thicker, heavier barrel gives you a lot of benefit or not. But,
yeah, I know we clean your gun every 5 shots. We fired a few through this, cleaned it. So we're going to go ahead and shoot what we got today. Then I'll do another good thorough cleaning on it. So I'm going to stretch it out just a little bit instead of having 5 shots. So
all right,
we're going to see what the difference is.
Well, without any further ado,
let's get to shooting.
All right, Mr. Obvious. So I'm going to explain to the folks at home. Our zoom-in camera here took a dump on us.
Yeah.
It is not working. So bear with us. We've got our 100-yard target set up there. And Mr. Obvious is going to shoot at that 175, which is the yellow target. Whoop, right there in the back. And he's going to shoot at that and just get a basic 0. And to do that, he is shooting some of these just American Eagle 150 grain. This is just some cheap plinking stuff. But he's going to get it hitting over there accurately before we put it on paper.
See where it hits.
All right there, Mr. Obvious. Have at her.
I want to get this thing.
And work that action good, too. I want people to see that thing working.
Make sure it works.
Mm-hmm. Woohoo, you hit.
It hit. Hit just above dead center.
Okay, yeah, I thought you had zeroed this.
Yeah, it's hitting about, looks like maybe about 2 inches high.
Okay, so we're good enough to go to paper then, aren't we?
Yeah, so I'm going to go with the heavier bullet.
Okay.
So I'm going to see where it hits with this. I may have to dial it down. This is a
That's a 168.
Bullet. Yeah. So I got 3 of these left. This is the 4th.
And that is some good ammo.
I want to see where it hits.
Shoo.
That one hit just a little bit right, but it was almost dead center, maybe a 1/2 inch low, but to the right about 1 inch, 1.5 inches.
And that's something I want to explain real quick to the folks at home, because I get this question quite often. And people will say to me, why are you not zeroing it? What we're doing here today is getting groups, okay? When we find an ammo that a particular rifle likes, that's what we zero our rifle to.
That's what we zero it to.
But what you'll see here, he shot that 150 grain Federal, and it shot, what'd you say, to the left?
It shot straight over, about 1.5 inches, 2 inches
And
high.
then you switch to that 168 grain.
It hit 1.5 inches to the right instead of straight
Right.
over.
So different ammo will print differently. Yep. Okay. So we're not going to chase our tail and re-zero every time we shoot a particular type of ammo. We're seeing how it groups. the one that groups the best is what we're going to zero the rifle to.
Yep.
But, and that will be on a later date after we pick our ammo. But we're going to test out these loads, shoot groups down here at the paper target, and see how we do. All right, so the first group's going to be with the American Eagle Federal stuff, and this is a 150 grain. And Mr. Obvious, we're going to keep track of everything he shoots and where he shot it. So when we get to the end here, we'll mic each shot. And I don't want people getting upset saying, you know, that's not really an inch or something. I'm going to pull the mics out on you. All right. Unfortunately, we've gotten that a few times, and guys are, y'all are great.
Yep. So I got Federal, BBBM, and Nosler. So
okay. So these are the factory loads we're going to shoot first.
Then we'll go to the hand.
Then we'll go to the hand loads and see what she likes. But here we All right. So in the interest, not of brevity, but of letting the barrel cool in between each group, after he shoots these 150 grain Federals, we're just going to walk down with the set of mics there and see how we shot. And I'm not expecting anything special out of this stuff. This is just giving us a baseline, something you can buy off the shelf. And I want people to see that, because hand loads gets to be a little bit of a, it's like alchemy.
Yeah.
It's each thing's going to be different, and you get a hand loader that's a artist here like Mr. Obvious, and he can pretty much make any rifle shoot. So I've seen him do it.
Give it time. Yep. All right.
All right there, Mr. Obvious.
Well, I'm having a hard time getting.
You want to get comfortable. You want to be nice and comfy.
Well, getting on the target. Everything's either too high, too low.
And I can show here he is shooting at that 100-yard paper target.
Get my ears in good and tight.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah. Okay. We're going top right.
All right.
Let me get this cleared up.
Oh, Mr. Obvious. What do we have here? And we weren't expecting anything special here.
No, it's junk ammo. You got production ammo to running off the assembly line, just boom, 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 boom.
And Federal does make good ammo.
Yeah,
but this is just bulk ammo.
This is bulk, cheap ball.
Yeah.
What was that, 150 grain?
150 grain.
Just plinking ammo.
That's basically what it is. And that's what we were doing. We were plinking. So how do we do there, Mr. Obvious?
Well, that one there's, looks like .94. Then it's no, dang, 3.11.
So 3.11. Now, I will say this.
We had a flyer.
My Sierra never shot it that bad.
Yeah.
But it did shoot it bad as well.
I'm worried about my gun now.
No, I'm not. I'm not. Well, we'll go back here and shoot some of these Rural King. They were BBM. I call them Rural King ammo. We bought those on sale over there. 168 grain bullet. And I believe we paid something like 70 cents a shot. And I bought all I could carry. And then Mr. Obvious went right after I left. I called him and I was like, man, they got it, and there's no limit. You can buy all you want. And he went over there and bought the rest.
Yep.
So we're gonna shoot this. I guess just wherever you want to shoot there, Mr. Obvious. Bottom row, first one. That's out of the question. You can't use that no more. But we can use this one here.
Go here.
Okay, but let's do 168 grain BBM and see how we do.
All right.
All right. So these are our next bullets. Okay, gives you the lot number and everything. And Mr. Obvious is going to do a 3-shot group with this. See how she does.
See what
All right, Mr. Obvious, 168 grain, BBM. These are full metal jacket.
Yep.
And these things shot really good out of mine. I think this is where I got a 3/4 inch group was with these. Or it might have been a little over.
Yep.
All right, Mr. Obvious, it looks like we got a little better group this time.
Yeah, we didn't have a flyer out of that batch, so it's a little better ammo. I don't know. These looks like the two widest ones. Do you agree?
Yeah, I do agree, but we'll get it both ways. Okay, so what do we got there?
We got
0.98.
0.99.
Okay, so we're sub MOA.
Got about a 0.72.
Okay, so it is the other way around.
And about a 0.72.
So we're about 0.99. So that is technically sub-minute. So you just made the cut.
Barely.
All right. And again, factory ammo,
Yeah.
mass produced, but that is actually really impressive. So BBM, that's the only ammo I've ever had that was made by these fellas. And
Yeah.
it's good. So
Hey, for ball ammo, I mean,
yeah,
it's good ammo. I don't know why, but I mean, even the Federal, it's a 150 grain bullet, which the other one, what was it, 168 grain?
that was a 168
It was
grain.
168, so it
And mine seemed to like that even with the hand loads.
Yeah.
So we'll get back here with some of these Nosler. And again, this is something you can just buy off the shelf. We'll see how it does. Okay, so now we're into this Nosler competition ammunition. This is a hollow point boat tail, 175 grain. And Mr. Obvious is going to shoot this and see how she does. All right, Mr. Obvious with the 175 grain Nosler off the shelf ammo. And let's see how she groups here. All right there, Mr. Obvious. So that was the Nosler, and that is competition ammo.
Yeah.
And hollow point boat tail match. And what do we got here, Mr. Obvious?
It did not like that.
It did not look like it did.
No, that's center to center. It's going to be about 2.55.
And that's it is what it is, like you said. Now that is factory ammo.
Yep.
So we're going to go back here, try some hand loads out, see how we shoot. And then I might go back and shoot a group with that and see see if I don't do a little worse. So let's go back and try out some of these hand loads. All right there, Mr. Obvious. So we're starting into these hand loads.
Yeah. And we're going to be shooting Varget, and it's a 175 grain bullet. Is what it is.
All right, so a Varget low, 175 grain. Now, is that a Sierra Match King or a Nosler?
That is the...
Because I know you got both.
That's a Nosler.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you're running...
Nosler competition.
So he's running the same bullet in that we were running with this, but that's a hand load.
Yeah, it's a Nosler competition bullet.
And you got that hand loaded with Varget. So let's get out here, see how she does. All right, Mr. Obvious. So this is the same exact bullet, a Nosler competition, but these are your hand loads.
Yeah.
And you got it loaded with Varget. So 175 grain, Nosler, hollow point, boat tail.
Yep. So we're going to see if it...
All right, Mr. Obvious. So you can see here, that was the flyer from before, from that 150 grain.
I marked it with that little thing.
Yep. So what are we at here?
We're about 1.15.
1.15. So we are not getting that sub MOA. In fact, the only thing we got the sub MOA with is that BBM ammunition.
Yep.
So we're going to try one more powder charge with that 175 grain Nosler and see if it doesn't. All right, Mr. Obvious. So what are we shooting now? Same bullet, 175 grain Nosler.
But 4064 powder.
4064 powder, and we'll get down here and get a group. All right, Mr. Obvious. When you're ready, send it.
One of them loads easy.
All right, Mr. Obvious. Now you told me that's your load that seems to work in any 308.
Yep, that's my secret load.
It's a secret.
Yeah.
But it's a 4064 powder, correct?
Yep.
And all right, let's go over here and take a look.
And we're .73.
Yep, that's what it is.
And that one there is probably .69.
So you're a 3/4 minute now. You know, that's right. You said .73, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So actually, it's under 3/4 minute. And I know there's already going to be somebody in the comments. Actually, it was under 3/4 minute. Like I said, I love you guys. All right, so let's get back and shoot some 168 grain, because I think that's pretty good. I mean, you're 3/4 minute right there.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Let's get back 168 grain, see how she does. All right there, Mr. Obvious. So 168 grain, Sierra Match King. And what do you got this loaded on?
This is tack powder. Yep.
Is that the tack?
Tack.
No, oh, it is, isn't it?
Yep. Tack.
All right, so we're going to see what this does. And this. All right, Mr. Obvious. Again, same bullet.
Yep. Tack powder. .91. Yeah, it's going to be .91. It's less than a minute.
All right, so you are sub-MOA with that, but you see the difference, and just in the type of powder you use, how you can really bring a bullet in. You can start cutting bullet holes, and like some of our viewers have mentioned to us, and I think it was Bobby Green, mentioning the what was that, a 137 grain?
Yeah.
VMAX bullet.
He goes 125s to 130s.
And you can tighten them up. It depends on what you like to shoot and what you're hunting, frankly.
Yeah.
You know.
Every gun's different. You got to find out what bullet.
Every gun's different. Every gun's different. And actually, you know, and I'll give a shout out here, not that he needs it, but Tim Suttles, the fellow that owns Buffalo Bore, he's been putting out some excellent videos, and I highly recommend people go over there and watch that. You've got a guy with years of experience and knowledge just willing to give it out for free. And he will tell you, and actually he put a video out, I think last night, basically talking about exactly what we're saying here. Every gun is unique and different. Okay, they come off the same assembly line. You got one serial number difference, and that gun can be radically different in the way it shoots, what it likes.
Different. Every barrel's made different. So,
yep.
You know,
Everything's different.
Get a gun shooting like this. This is 10 thousandths off the lens. So now we're under an inch. We can shorten that bullet up. I'm up 10 thousandths, so I'll start shortening that bullet up about 5 thousandths at a time. That may come right in and start cutting bullet holes.
Right.
You got to play with bullet length. You got to play with powder charges. You know, what's the harmonics of that barrel like it? You know, that barrel's doing this as that bullet comes down, and it's got to exit at like 1 o'clock every time. It can't.
Right.
If it exits at 12 o'clock, you're gonna have a little bit of flyer. You got this. So you got to get that harmonics right, perfect every time.
So I think that was very well stated, Mr. Obvious. All right, Mr. Obvious, and this will be our last group that we're doing, and we could sit here and play with powder charges and, like you said, bullet length and everything all day, and that is something we do, and but it doesn't make for very entertaining videos. But what is this grain here, or what are we shooting here?
We're shooting, this is 168 grain now. We'll drop down.
And you went to 4064 powder here.
Yeah, this is my charge here that I use in everything.
Right.
This is my exact loads I shoot 400-yard shots with and everything. This is my exact,
your go-to.
My go-to.
All right, let's see what it does. And well, Mr. Obvious, we're down here, and that is your pet load, right? That's what you say.
My pet load out of all.
And well, let's show folks what it did.
2 through the same, 1 out, and we'll go 0.59. I'll give it that.
Yeah, that is
half-inch groups.
That's awesome right there, man.
That's my 400-yard shot secret load.
Yeah. and you know, it isn't that secret.
It seems like every gun I put that in, it does that load. I don't know why.
Right. And you just found what it really likes. But this is what we're talking about. We can sit here all day and you can play. Now, he can play with the bullet length on that.
And probably put all 3 of them through the same hole.
Yeah, and so you can get to that. And so what we see here, and let's just look real quick. Factory cheapest ammo, okay? And then that's factory cheap stuff, 70 cents a shot. Then this Nosler, $2.15 a shot.
Yeah.
Then you start getting into your hand loads and you start seeing it get tight.
Yeah.
Okay, and then he found what it really likes. So
now go back to my secret load and it falls right
now he may be able to take that bullet back into spec and not be 10 thousandths off the lands and maybe get the same result, maybe get a little tighter. But that's the experimentation you got to do. And this is what you're going to zero this rifle to. So after all this, you'll go back and you probably want to get a 200 yard zero, correct?
Yeah, it'd be 200 yard zero. And now for you people will say, well, how come you ain't hitting in the center? We're holding in the square dot, but we're hitting here, down here, over here, down here.
You're aiming in the same spot every time, but bullets will print different.
Yeah, bullets going to print different.
And you know, guys, I get that question. I'm telling you,
time after time,
like 2 times a week.
Yeah.
And a lot of our older videos, and you get to the point, it's like I keep answering it. It's okay. We've just got to be clear on what's going on here, yeah. So everybody's on the same page. You know, each bullet's going to print different. Okay. So now that we found the bullet we like, and he may play with the recipe a little more, but now that he's found the bullet he likes, he can zero the rifle.
Yeah. So the bullet it likes. Now look how much lower you hit.
Right.
Now I'll re-zero the gun to up here where it hits dead center.
Correct. And you know, and that's a lot of things, and we'll talk about a lot of this in the AAR. Actually, I'll just go ahead and handle it now. A lot of people get out, and you'll be chasing your tail, guys. You'll get a round that, you know, and you know, I've been in this camp. I have purchased an ammo and said, that's going to be my hunting load. Okay. That's what I bought. That's what I'm going to hunt with. And I'll zero to that. And then I'll grab another round. And actually that's what I end up taking. and you know, you end up chasing your tail, guys. So if you're sitting out here, sitting on the bench, doing your range time, just imagine you're going to take a day figuring out what your rifle likes. Yeah. After that, you know, you'll be very knowledgeable about the rifle at that point. You know, you've got it nice and broke in. By the time you really test out different loads, you'll find what it likes. Now, what I'd love to be able to do is go buy something off the shelf and shoot like that. Okay. But there's so many inconsistencies with mass-produced ammo, guys. About the only ammo that I will wager what they say is what it is buffalo bore. You know, when he tells you, and he's got a 308 load, a 175 grain, that they test every one of those that come out, you know, each lot, he tests them. And he may change the primer that he uses or the case, and it's because they run tests. Mm-hmm. And they see what's working out of that lot number. And, you know, there's a lot of different opinions out there, but I think they're doing it right. And that's all I have to say about that. So we're back to these Nosler 175 grain, just factory loads. And I want to see if I can't tighten it up a little bit. And now this barrel's gotten a little bit fouled. You're going to shoot a little more accurate. So in theory.
In theory.
So let's get over here, Mr. Obvious. And
all right, let me get my earplug seated in good.
Make sure you're doing that.
Give me a second. All right.
Let me get on target here.
All right, okay. It's hard to hear you now, so I think I'm good.
All right, here we go. Mr. Obvious, we went back to that factory Nosler, trying to redeem itself. That
trying to redeem itself.
3.11 inch.
Yep, we dirtied the barrel up and didn't clean it, and you went down and shot right here.
Yep.
So let's see what we got. I'm going to call it's going to be right in there about 1.1. It's right at 1 inch.
Right at an inch. So,
right at an inch.
So that got a lot better than 3 inches.
Yeah, that's dirtying your barrel up.
That's dirtying the barrel up. And, you know, guys, the break-in period of the rifle, and you'll hear different people say different things. Yep. I'm going to do what the manufacturer says. That's what I'm going to do. But yes, once you start getting it fouled up, you start tightening up a little bit.
Yep. I'm going to clean that barrel real good once this is done, and then we can dirty it back up again. This barrel will be easier to clean, get clean quicker, and you'll get good groups.
In theory, sir.
In theory. That's what the manufacturer says.
Yes, sir.
That's what we're going to go by.
Well, let's get back.
And we are back with our after action report.
And what do we have to report today, Mr. Robbins?
We're going to report, I think we found the load this gun likes. It's
Yeah.
a secret pet load for the 308.
It is a shooter, man.
Yeah.
And she shoots excellent. We went back and reshot these Nosler, and we were shooting right at 1 inch. And let's be precise, it was 1.01, correct?
Yeah.
So, because, there's always that guy.
Yeah.
And we love you, man. but yeah, there's always somebody who technically.
Well, technically, it's 1.1, not 1 inch.
All right. So we're happy with the way this is shooting. We'll have to get the Sierra out and use some of your secret sauce there.
Yeah.
And get it out. Right now, this is shooting about a quarter minute or a quarter inch at 100 yards.
Yeah.
Better than my Sierra was.
Yeah.
Now the Sierra did a little better with the 168 grain, BBM stuff that we have here. But yeah, each gun's different.
Yeah. Yeah.
What else can you say?
I mean, I don't care to give I can go so far with it because I don't know your gun, but the 168 grain hollow point boat tail Match King Sierra with 4064, if you find the right powder charge and a bullet length, that thing will cut bullet holes.
So yeah,
And that's every gun I've ever shot.
and
308.
And we were checking the pressures and stuff on that. He's got that's a modest load that you're doing. It's not at the top end, but it's not at the low end. It's right there in the middle. So if you get your reload manual out, and we use the Lyman manuals,
Lyman 49th edition.
and that seems to give us some pretty good results. But they're about right on what it says.
Yeah.
And that's what Mr. Obvious is using as the I guess the base.
Yeah.
Where you start with, and then he works the load up a little bit until you're getting. YouTube gets really funny about stating what your powder charge is and stuff like that. Okay. Yeah. So guys, just be safe, do things within your capabilities. As far as factory ammo is concerned, unfortunately, we're shooting right at just over an inch with this Nosler, and this is not cheap ammo. No. This is $2.15 a shot. Okay. And you can get it on sale for like $1.75 a shot. But I've got some IMI 175 grain bullets that shoot about the same. Okay, and I paid 90 cents around for those. So, it's all in what you want to spend. Like I said, the Buffalo Boar people over there, they've got a competition, basically is what it is. 175 grain Sierra Match King, and he's got a really good write-up on that. And, I trust those. I trust them. I trust those guys over there. I think they're real shooters. They go out, they do a lot of this stuff. So if you're going to buy factory ammo and you're gonna pay a lot for it, might as well get some stuff that you're pretty certain is good. Anything that's mass produced isn't going to be. Mr. Obvious goes and weighs out every single bullet. He weighs them, he mics them, and then they're all the same. And he'll buy you got like 600 rounds or whatever of those Nosler competition bullets, and he'll go and mic them. And I mean, heck, how many of them's they vary?
They vary,
yeah. So he gets the exact same with each of them, and even something that you're paying top dollar for can vary.
Yep, it varies. Gun varies from gun to gun. You could build 25 of these guns, and probably 22 of them are shoot different.
Yeah,
that's the way it is. It's the barrel. It's every time you run that same die through this barrel or whatever they use to cut the riflings in, the next gun, it's going to be wore down some. It's going to be a little different. Hair. The next one's going to be a little different. They may make 4 or 5 barrels and have to change to a new tool. Then you're back again. But once you put them tools in there and you start wiring them down, then you got your barrel wire. You got different tolerances in your barrel. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
No two barrels is hardly the same.
And now, I can speak anecdotally to this because I worked for a firearms manufacturer when I first got out of the military, and we were machining AR-15s, and I can tell you that they were very liberal on how what the tolerances could be, and I did not like that. So what I would do is I'd go in and see what happened on the days I wasn't running. Okay. And then I'd go and check all the specs on that. I would go in and change out tools and get the new tools. So when I'm running, and then I can chase the deviation. So as the carbide bit is starting to wear, okay, let's say I'm milling out a bore and an upper, okay. Once it starts to wear, I can start, because I'm micing it every time, and I'm chasing that. How many guys are going to do that, though? I was very, very meticulous. I guess you might say I'm on the spectrum. I don't know. But if my name was on something, and I know some guy's going to get this rifle and possibly have to defend his home or put food on the table with it, I wanted everything precise. I wanted it exactly as close to perfect as I could get it.
Yeah.
And, Bergara, I think they've got, that's their philosophy, I think. And they try to do these rifles as good as possible. But yeah, you're still going to get a variation. Okay. And, but yeah, I've not picked up a Bergara or shot one. You own a couple now. And I think over the years, I've probably shot about 6 of these. I've never shot a Bergara that wasn't a top-notch shooting rifle.
Yeah.
And I think they make a very good product.
It's very good.
I'm very, very happy with this. Tika is obviously great. Seiko, Tika, they do a great job. Again, I think these are all very comparable, and you're going to pay a little less.
Yep.
For the Bergara, and I'm always looking for a value.
Yeah.
So it's a good value, but. Anything to add, Mr. Obvious? Anything you want to talk about?
No, if anybody got any questions, I know we mentioned the scope first of the video. These is tally mounts on this, so I'll mention that again. Other than that, it's the...
And the flash hider you've got.
Yeah.
It's a 3-prong
Yep.
flash hider.
Yeah.
And, that's one he's just had for a while.
Yeah.
And threw on there. It did not come with a flash hider.
No,
okay?
didn't come with anything.
Now, my Sierra came with a muzzle brake. And again, I'll just go ahead and mention that. I do not like a muzzle brake. I'm very opinionated on this, okay, fellas? I like to be able to hear before and after I shoot. And I typically don't wear hearing protection when I'm in the woods, deer hunting. And if you've got a muzzle brake on there, trust me, it's deafening. I mean, it really adds volume to your shot. And on top of that, that radial style muzzle brake that they have on that, if you're on the ground shooting, you'll kick dust up, and it is no fun, and you'll be cleaning your rifle. and getting dust out of your eyes and everything else. So, yeah, I do not like that, but to each their own. So, really, I've got nothing else to add. This is a wonderful firearm, and we're going to go out to 400 yards with this and the Sierra. And we're going to be doing the best at the barbecue, a little competition between Mr. Obvious and I this summer, and we might be inviting some other fellows out. We don't know. We're trying to get that organized and set up a fair course. So the rifle you bring for the 400-yard shot is the same rifle you got to use for the running gun. Okay. So that is stuff we'll talk about. That's why I kind of like a little lighter weight. But guys, there's no replacement. If you want the most accurate rifle, it definitely weight helps. So anyway, anything to add, Mr. Obvious?
No, I think one of the guys we've got coming for the best of the barbecue, he's in the police academy. He's getting ready to start it. So he's
law enforcement.
He's in law enforcement. So he's going to be 18 weeks of training. So it's going to be a little while out before we see the barbecue. So
and we hope he can definitely make it. And we'd love to have him. Of course, we thank all of our law enforcement, firefighters, veterans out there, current active duty military. We appreciate all of you.
Thank you for all you do.
Absolutely. And I've served myself, and Mr. Obvious comes from a long lineage of that as well. And we do sincerely appreciate you. But with that, everybody, remember, Keep your knives sharp. Keep your powder dry.
Subscribe to Last Minute Man and watch us on
Rumble!